Welcome to Dicejunkies. I'm Zeno Damus. I'm here with
Q.
and we have
Michelle. Hey, guys.
our lovely editor Michelle, and of course we have Mr. Bloodaxe in the chat room, keeping you guys company. Anybody watching us live right now on Twitch, which we do every Sunday at 3:30. Let's get started. All right, so let's talk about. I mean, we've talked about this for the last couple of weeks. Let's finish it out finally. Baldur's Gate 3. It was demoed at PAX East.
We finally got my much requested gameplay.
Yes,
I kept saying that. Y'all remember? I said I want to see gameplay.
So we finally got a game demo there. So we got to see gameplay. You see the actual. I mean, the graphics look really good. I mean, it looks better than the Divinity Original Sin, though a lot of the gameplay looks very similar to Divinity Original Sin.
Very similar.
Almost too similar in some aspects.
This is Divinity Original Sin, but that's not a bad thing.
Well, I mean, the graphics are definitely a step up from Divinity Original
way better
Sin.
graphics.
There are definitely new mechanics because it is based off of 5th Ed, and they're utilizing that rule set pretty closely. Now they are modifying some for balance and different things, but also as a game you have to modify it slightly to work well. But
I mean, the way the bodies look on the ground, this is Divinity. But here's the thing: as I was telling Bloodaxe, the one thing that I held against Divinity was me lacking knowledge of the lore of the game, and thus sometimes have a little trouble getting into it because I wasn't familiar with it. Mm-hmm. So taking the really good Divinity Original Sin system, which is really, really good game, Divinity Original Sin 2, excuse me, really good game, and giving me a setting that I care about and I'm familiar with, it's genius. It's exactly what I wanted.
Yeah,
I will enjoy this a lot more because this is actually a game I care about. A setting. This is Forgotten Realms, y'all.
There we go. Yeah, no, I mean it looks good though. I did like that a lot of the, I think they had several new features in there that we saw with, like they had a ladder going up and you can actually destroy the ladder.
Oh, that's cool.
Like a lot of the things in the environment have hardness and health. Similar to like you can in the actual D&D setting.
So you can actually do something stupid and like trap yourself. Like that'd be hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's that easy to trap yourself too badly.
They should let you that be. We're old school DMs. We've seen the stupidity.
I mean, you may make yourself have to go the long way, but
this game can help educate a new generation of gamers who are stupid. So having them starve to death in the bottom of a pit to me feels very appropriate. I hope they actually have the mechanic of, did you collapse all the tunnels? Well, guess what? It just gets a game over screen and it goes, you starved to death in the bottom of this pit. But that's cool. I didn't know about the destructible ladders. That's a tactical.
Yeah. Now, like this ladder here exits out of the stage, and you can see it has a little infinity sign there.
Aww.
So apparently, you can't destroy your.
Maybe if you turn up the difficulty.
Maybe
they'll be like, no, we're going to give hardness to that ladder. Let's see what happens.
Let's see how dumb this person is.
Literally, it should just fade to black if you destroy the only way out of there and just go like, oh, did you have fly? You don't? Mm-hmm. By the way, I'm curious how they're going to handle that because that's not a high-level spell. Flight comes in pretty low level. I wonder, it's going to be hard for this game not to go high enough level that certain spells would be. Well, I forgot 5th Ed took out a lot of utility spells like that.
I was about to say, fly doesn't really.
Yeah, 5th Ed took a lot of that out, so I guess it won't be a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, no, a lot of your utility spells are out the window with 5th Ed. I mean, honestly, it's not that hard to move 5th Ed over into a video game. Like 5th Ed is one of those settings, like playing 5th Ed on tabletop, it's like, yeah, it actually has very similar mechanics to what you would think was behind a video game.
Oh, hey, you hear that, editor? You can rebuild your awesome barbarian. I even think, did they have Azamar as playable? I know they had Tiefling.
I did not see Azamar as
they
playable.
got to have Azamar for her.
I didn't see Barbarian as a class, actually, but they didn't show all the classes. So.
I think they did that on purpose. I think they wanted to keep some of it, I think that was intentional, I hope. Because Barbarian's easy enough to implement that it should be in there, but
because they said, yeah, they showed Wizard fighter, ranger. I like they put
And
fighting
rogue.
instead of fighter. Ranger and rogue.
Yeah, they're gonna have more than 4 classes. That is nowhere near.
Well, no,
enough,
they
yeah.
also showed warlock.
They showed that there's a character that has warlock. Yeah, but I don't remember seeing a lot more than that. So I'm curious. And our editor apparently is not gonna reply to me referencing her 5th ed character.
Wow, that's so cool that you said that. Thanks.
I think she has a headache. So.
Oh, I'm concerned. I will feign concern.
All right, so now that your assholeness is out, let's talk about Dead or Alive and changing the color of your hair.
Talking of assholes.
Yeah, I know, right?
You called me a jerk. You know what I wouldn't do? Even this is too much even for me. This feels like selling blind people movie tickets, man. This is messed up.
So Dead or Alive is going to start charging for players to change the fighter's hair color. Now, this is angering fans, and you say, why? I mean, Dead or Alive, we know Dead or Alive. Dead or Alive is the mecca of microtransaction cosmetics, you know. With,
over $1,960 worth of
well,
DLC.
that's a little bit of an exaggeration. You're using the Steam cart, and that actually duplicates a lot of things. If you think about it, there's 4 seasons, and each season ranges between $70 to $100. So you're closer to $400.
Oh, I'm sorry. That sounds perfectly reasonable.
It's not reasonable. It's just I'm trying not to exaggerate here.
Oh no,
when talking about the amount, because there's also you can buy things individually. So Steam actually has where you can buy their little currency packs and stuff like that. But if you buy the season pass, you don't have to get all that. And then, of course, they sell costumes separately and in different packs, or you can buy the season pass.
Speaking of selling things separately, though.
But yeah, speaking of so what's angering people about them selling hair? Well, I mean, if you're watching the video, you can see they have tickets. These tickets are like 99 cents or $1 a piece. And what you have to do is you select the hair color you want to change your fighter's hair color to, and then you spend the $1 to do that. And you're actually spending the $1 to change the hair color, not to purchase the hair color. Like, this is a transaction for the action, you're not actually owning that hair color. Like,
you're renting it.
If you change to a different hair color, you have to pay again.
And we want to emphasize that. Let's say you change Helena's hair green. I won't say anything ugly about you doing that. But I should have said purple. Anyway, if you decide to change Helena's hair color to a different color, if you want to change it back to its normal color, that's another $1. If you want to change it to green again, that's $1. You literally don't own anything. You are just paying to make the change. So they've gone from selling you cosmetics to now charging you for just a button click. Every time you click to change her hair color and you change it, you will be charged individually. And it's what I called, I think I told you, they found a way to do infinite monetization now because they're charging you every change. So now they've got a way to charge.
Yeah. So if you change the hair and you don't want to spend a lot of money, you better want that hair.
Because even if you want to change it back, you're going to spend another $1.
Blood Axe asks, does the carpets match the drapes?
That's another $1. Yeah. And to find out, that's 20.
Yeah. There's a special channel to find out.
It'll be $1 though.
Yeah. No.
But I mean, cosmetics. The thing that gets us about this, me and Zeno were talking about this, being that we are nerdy enough to be aware of this. It isn't even just a charge you per change. Is that at least if I buy a different shirt, I know that there's a couple of kilobytes in that. Like, there's a little effort. They had to texture it. But a hair color change is a palette swap. It's nothing. It's no effort. You're buying nothing. You're barely even buying ones and zeros. Those colors are in there. This is nothing.
You're literally paying for an action.
Yes. And worst of all, it's the cheapest and easiest of actions. Because it's not changing their hairstyle. At least if they said they change their hairstyle, well, that's still BS. At least you know that when you clicked it, the game had to load, and animate different hair. But this is literally a color swap, man. Mm-hmm. This ain't worth a penny. You should pay $1 to be able to change everybody's freaking hair color to what you want. Because remember now, there's how many characters? Like, there's a lot of characters.
Yeah, there's like 20 something, and then there's 16 different colors.
And different hairstyles. I wonder if you got to pay for each hairstyle.
Even if you wanted to own all the hair colors and you were allowed to own instead of rent, you're still talking about 16 times 20. So what, $320?
Hey, it's not 1900. It's perfectly reasonable. Perfectly reasonable hair on it. But so basically, they're literally getting to the point now where, and that's to prey on people that are compulsive. Indecisive. That is to prey on people who will go through changing their hair color over and over and end up running up $30-$40. And
what they want to do is they want to sell you a pack of those DLC tickets, and that way it doesn't feel like you're spending money every time you change the hair color until you run out.
Well, at least I'll give them credit.
Go buy another pack.
At least I'll give them this: they didn't pull a Bethesda. It isn't that it takes 50 tickets to cut your hair, to change your hair color, and they sell them in packs of 62. You know what I'm saying? At least it is one ticket. Then so each ticket has actual value. What, I'm right. I mean, compared to the freaking market system where they'll do you can't buy the exact amount, I'll give them that. But still, this is the actual most impressive example. I know it doesn't seem like a big deal, but this is literally the current top winner of we sold you nothing. We literally sold you nothing.
Bloodaxe says he wouldn't pay $1 to change any character's hair on Gears. This is ignorant. And I mean,
I wouldn't pay that if it gave me every hair color.
I'm not a cosmetics guy. Like, I play Dead or Alive to punch people in the face. But there are people out there that are cosmetics, and Dead or Alive is known for their cosmetics and costumes and all that. There's a market out there, and they're squeezing every dime they can. I mean, it's just an interesting. Look, dude, I'm already mad about them because I went through and actually unlocked a bunch of the costumes.
Oh, I remember that.
And they made it a pain in the butt to unlock costumes, but I was like, I'm learning to fight these characters anyway, learning their moves and stuff. So why not? It's a secondary condition. I get to unlock some costumes, and then somewhere along the line, they just relocked a bunch of them. Like,
that was so weird.
Out of the blue.
That half of your unlocks just
That's messed up.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing about DOA that gets me.
And here's the other catcher. There's these quests that you can do to unlock a bunch of this stuff, and to get. All of those were still completed, so
he couldn't re-unlock them easily because he can't redo the quest.
Yeah,
but I'll finish it on this note. What is gregarious? Damn, I'm having trouble with that word. What's effed up about this? Talk like us. What's effed up about this bullshit is that they're trying to give you the least value for your dollar, and I've downloaded, I play Fallout 4 with a lot of mods. And I've downloaded recently something that changed the color of the dog beach fur. It was like 3 kilobytes. So this is literally, they found a way to get you down to like 1 or 2 kilobytes a buck. Like, they wanted to lower the value so much that they've gotten this down to like the lowest. What is the least amount we can literally give you for your money? And they finally got it down to, we're giving you something that doesn't even really exist.
The next thing you know, Sony pops up an ad telling you, hey, you might have been able to fight this person and beat them if you had green hair. $1.
This person's hair color clearly gave them an advantage in this battle.
Oh,
pops up a little white win loss.
Love Sony.
We found that redheads win more matches. Oh God. They're teaching the AI how to make idiots out of us. Don't get me started on my tinfoil hat theory. These dummies are so greedy. They're teaching the robots how to make fools out of us.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. Let's do a random encounter at this point.
Well, I'm signed with Google. I told you, me and Google all the way, man. I hope I picked the right AI to back.
Who wants to roll? You, me. I'll
Pick a
roll.
color. That'll be $1. You want to roll a different color? It's gonna be another $1.
For nostalgia gold, your childhood best friend, and what is your best story? My childhood best friend.
What if
And
you were
what
unpopular?
is your best story? Oh man, I don't really want to like.
What is wrong with me? I have a story, but it's still illegal.
Well, no,
How
that's
long have I been breaking the law?
That's the problem with. Like, I'm like, what's a legal story with?
That is so weird to me that you always have good stories to tell. Whenever I go like, hey, I remember when my friend went in. Oh wait, no, can't. Yeah, no, no. Then it's like, oh, that other one. That's
that and like it's one of my main stories with a childhood best friend. I don't want to mention names because
that says a lot.
He's a youth pastor now. So.
Oh my.
Oh my God! One of my childhood friends is also a pastor now too. He needed Jesus.
Yeah. So.
Right.
Yeah.
My Nintendo. Me had some good times as a kid.
Good times, yeah.
I one time got paid. My cousin didn't want me to bother like the grown folks when they're talking. So my cousin offered me $5 for each stage I beat a duck hunt, and I stayed up for 3 hours till almost 3 a.m. and she had to give me like $150. That was fun. So my Nintendo, man, my homie.
Hey, that's a good story, man.
Dude, I got up really high in duck hunt, man. I mean, I flipped the game. I mean, I was up there. I don't think the Nintendo was so hot. The gun had got to the point where I had to put up against the screen for it to still work.
Well, that's cheating if you put the gun up against the screen.
You should have been checking. And $150 back then was a lot of money. You know, like, I mean, now this is, I'm an old man.
Next thing I know, you're going to say you had the second controller over at the, that you were pushing so that the birds automatically
I was
went
doing
to
the clay
corner.
pigeons. I'm not a total, man. I was doing clay pigeons.
Oh, you're doing clay pigeons.
The ducks is too easy. I was on the clay pigeon.
Because, you just have that trick of if you had the second controller, you could navigate the ducks. So you navigate them all into the same corner.
Infuriating your friends was so fun when you made them.
That was
a great joy. Trolling, man, is not new.
No.
You didn't invent it. We've been trolling since Nintendo.
I have friends come over to play duck hunt. And they're like, "Man, your duck hunt, is this like a harder difficulty? They have odd flight patterns."
They're lining up, going like, "He's gonna go to the corner of the screen." Turns around at the last minute.
Yeah. Oh man, that was some good stuff. Now that's nostalgic gold.
Remember
right
before
there,
they
man.
fixed it? Like, remember for a while? Like, I think you could actually get the duck to be off screen, kind of like.
Yeah, I think you could. You could sort of get them.
Where like they could barely see him. That was fun. So there you go, Nintendo, man. What happened to us, Nintendo? It used to be me and you.
Yeah, it wasn't with my best friend. I mean, it was
no,
mostly
but I mean, we can't tell those.
Mostly
stories.
with people I didn't like, but.
Like sadly, apparently all of our friends were little future criminals. Like I have, because he said the best.
What's that say about us?
I could tell a story.
Oh, yes. Michelle has a story. What's up?
So there it isn't my best.
Throw the cam on you. You know, you gotta see it. You gotta see the eyes of the person telling a story. You know.
Oh, it's not working.
Oh, come on! It was working a second ago.
It was working a second ago, but it's not now.
All right.
So bad. So sad. Anyway, it's not with my best friend, but it was with my cousin. So basically, your first friends. My grandmother had a huge bunch of property. So whenever we'd go out and visit, right at the edge of her property, she had like this little cliff that was overlooking a dirt road. And we were obsessed with Jurassic Park, that we used to pretend that we were on the island and we would throw things and like rocks and spears at oncoming cars. It was pretty bad because they were dinosaurs, obviously. So we were protecting everything. What are you doing?
I was trying to get the See, I was marking a camera towards you. Don't worry about what I'm doing. Tell your story.
That was my story.
Oh, okay. That was
yeah,
it.
She just told a story for that little really creepy. Remember that horror movie?
Yeah.
With the the kid.
It was fun.
That was through the body. I think it was that Macaulay Culkin.
We got in trouble though. Obviously.
He threw the mannequin onto the road to call. Yeah, of course you could have killed someone. You were throwing rocks and sticks at oncoming traffic.
Totally. But it was a nice.
So what you really did is you just told an illegal story, and we didn't. So you
yeah.
didn't even tell a non-illegal story because that's super illegal.
I mean,
well, I'm not gonna rat my people out, man. I still don't snitch, so you can't hear about my friends.
I don't think that was an illegal
Blood Axe
story.
says at a sleepover, we were outside in a tent, and when the guys in the truck that drives by to spray for bugs, me and my friends mooned the bug man.
And also is technically illegal.
That's weird.
All the best stories are right.
That's asking for it too, because he's got that spray thing. Like that could have turned really interesting. Like,
yeah.
All right. So yeah, that's all you get. We're not. We don't.
They were 8.
Snitches get stitches, man.
All right.
Got any stitches?
Path of Exile 2. So I've been playing Path of Exile a good bit lately. Getting back into it. It's been a while. It's a Diablo-esque style game. Path of Exile 2 is supposedly coming out next year. They were going to have early access this year, but apparently they're concerned that may or may not happen due to them having to pull some of their development staff to work on the expansions that they do on the regular Path of Exile because they're shorthanded due to the coronavirus.
Wait. Apparently on YouTube you can't say that.
What?
We're not on YouTube.
I know, but when we put this over to YouTube, if you say the name of the thing, apparently that's been getting videos demonetized or pulled.
We're not monetized anyway.
All right, well, coronavirus. Yeah. Corona. There we go.
I mean, I understand the whole fear-mongering part of the thing, but we're not doing that.
I just didn't know if you knew, because apparently it's been a big deal. Like, nobody said it on YouTube because the algorithm is flagging it.
We'll deal with it. I'm not that big concerned.
I just want to check. If you know and you do it, then I'm all for it. You know me, man.
But anyway, so due to that, the Path of Exile 2 beta may be delayed. And so it may be 2021 before we even see the beta. Who knows? We'll see.
It's all right. I was looking more forward to Baldur's Gate anyway. Don't get me wrong. Path of Exile was fun. It's a very good game. I mean, I'll tell anybody. It's free to play. It's worth playing. It's an actual genuine free to play that you don't feel like you have to spend money to play it. But if you spend money, you get what you want. You know, you get your value because you feel like what you bought is what you wanted. It's a great game. I'm looking forward to the second one. Hopefully they'll unlock some of the builds a little more so I can make a custom character a little more like I want. But we've already talked about that before.
Yeah.
But
well, the next expansion is actually unlocking some new customization to the field. Even more customization to the already huge.
How much does it charge per hair color change?
Nothing at all. I don't think they do hair color changes. They do other cosmetics.
Let me get into the whale mentality. Well, that means it isn't worth it then if it doesn't cost.
You know, it's a free-to-play game. They do sell cosmetics. That's how they make their money. But they don't sell anything play to win. So that's why I support them 100% on that.
That is true.
Anyway, speaking of viruses and such, I thought this was fun. While everybody is concerned about trying not to get sick by whatever means, Fallout 76. We haven't talked about Fallout 76 in a while. This isn't really bad though, so we can't. We can't.
This doesn't meet my prerequisite that Bethesda. My prediction that Bethesda before March ends will get their butts back in the news.
But we just got to keep them a little bit highlighted, you know. So apparently, it is a big thing to try to contract viruses in Fallout 76. It seems to be some kind of achievement or something, and so people are going around trying to sleep in dirty sleeping bags, eat rotten food.
Apparently, they decided to make getting disease an achievement, which You know, according to Gino, he says that he
yeah.
thinks this has been around a while, which I hope, because this would be.
One guy says
if
I didn't have an active disease, then I would engage diseased enemies that I could have avoided. So that's interesting too. But
well, I mean, you get apparently achievements for getting diseases for some unknown reason.
Yeah, there's one guy like they mentioned, you know, that he's like, I've got all the diseases, I'm only one away. How do I get it? It's like weeping
sores. Go down some more, editor. I want to see some. Right down, no, up a little bit. I want to see what the achievement's called. Like, God, they have advice for how to catch diseases. They're drinking diseased water is a quick way to get diseases.
Well, water is one of the places you will catch diseases quickly. Oh.
Yeah, so there's apparently...
This is an odd question to complete the challenges of getting diseases in Fallout 76. The only one I need to get is whoopsies. How on earth do you get that one for a couple of months? Cannot figure it out. That's the last one I need.
It's apparently a disease that somehow decreases your luck. And one player spent over 666 hours trying to get this disease. What an interesting choice for them to make that. You know what? This says a lot to me. Hold on. I will say
the gameplay has degraded to such a point.
How boring is this game?
Where getting
trying
diseases
to get the disease
is
Now, I'll tell you, we do know someone that would do that, try to get that achievement. Because when it comes to achievement hunting, there is no one quite like our own Dicejunkies Blood Axe. Mr. Blood Axe, who is the achievement hound, who has to get every achievement. He would actually be the guy that would be trying to
really like a game to try to get all the achievements. Like the last God of War, you know, I got every achievement. I completed that game 100%. But like, it's a very small number that I'll do that on. So anyway, speaking of a disease, Disney. Disney CEO Bob Iger steps down. Bob, I was hoping
you can't see the quotations I'm doing.
I was hoping to get more information on this throughout the week, but they've been pretty tight-lipped over there about the whole situation.
Well, you know the rule of Disney: you can't talk about bad news.
So, I mean, we don't know much else other than Bob Iger is gone, and Bob Chapek,
yeah,
is the new CEO.
Notorious penny pincher, Bob Chapek. Is how
he was apparently the guy who was over the actual Disney parks. So that's a bit of a transition to go from
to trying to run the actual company and all the movies and cinema from all I was doing was cutting corners at the parks and raising prices. I don't know how he's going to raise prices on the movies. That's going to be hard. Is he going to require Disney charge more for their movie tickets?
I don't know. I mean, Bob Iger was doing a good job of that, or Disney was doing a good job of that within the theaters themselves by forcing them to keep theaters open or keeping movies in the theaters for certain lengths of time. Designating their best theater room for an extended period of time.
That's going to cost money. We're going to see some bootleg crap now. JPEG said that Disney going to start being in the cheap theaters, man. They're going to go back to the old 3D glasses, the old little paper ones.
I read something somewhere where like a school was showing The Lion King, and Disney heard about it, and they made them pay Disney like $250 for showing it.
They apologized later.
They still had to pay.
They didn't say they gave the money back, though.
I don't know if they gave the money back or not, or revoked the fine or not. But I do remember there was backlash, and Disney came back and was like, "Oops, our bad," or something.
Well, there won't be none of that with JPEG's a penny pincher. He gonna hit everybody, man. JPEG's goal is to get money and make him look fiscal. That's his style. So this is going to be a cluster flip. Like really. I'm expecting this to be a trash ride because they're spending a huge amount of money on Mulan. It turns out they're spending almost as much money on Mulan as they are Star Wars. So like that's going to get. I think that's going to get stopped. He's going to go in there and cut all that money out because Mulan's not a franchise that you spend Star Wars money on. That's crazy. I will admit Bob Iger seemed to be a spender. He seemed to be a real spender, as a CEO. But then Chapek's the extreme counterpoint, who's known as cheap and being a corner cutter and penny pincher. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how it turns out. I'm hoping that some leaks come out on more about why Iger stepped down, because I'm sure there's been so much weird and twisted gossip going through Disney on different things. You just need
to see the video, because man, Chapek looks like a deer in the headlights, and I don't know. I've hit a deer recently, and man, I've seen that face. I was like, that's the look of someone who's like. You can tell he was not ready. Bob Iger has a look of like, this is humiliating. I mean, it's worth the look, people. Don't take my word for it. If you go check the interview, they're sitting there together. They call them the two Bobs. Everybody's been calling him Bob Chapek, Bob 2. And
Bob 2.
Yeah. And it does not look like
that'll be the name of the podcast. Bob 2.
There you go. But no, because there's no one out there that's not curious, because this does not look planned. This looks like, my whole thing is I'm wondering, like, how many kids did they find in Iger's basement? Because they freaking freaked. This feels like one of those, oh crap, get rid of Iger today. Because this wasn't a case of they said we have an announcement. This is a case of, boom, he's out there saying I'm gone. Mm-hmm. And that's not how businesses run. You know that. Nobody, if you leave on the spot, that's a type 3 offense, man. He got a type 3 offense, man. Human resources had his crap out the door.
It's hard to say as a CEO. CEO is a very it's one of those positions where the board, though, can flip the switch.
I know, but usually they would set a date and it wouldn't be now. But this really comes off as a on the spot. Like if they did do it, they said, "Hey, man, this is your last day."
I mean, it could be a fall guy situation. There's a lot of different things it could be. But it damaged their stock. Like, doing it so quick had a negative effect on their stock. That's why I said Disney doesn't seem like they've really cared about their stock for a while.
Oh, I forgot they're not allowed to talk about bad stock, so they'll just tell them everything's fine.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's great.
We're the magical kingdom.
We sell all kinds of toys.
Have you heard about Wolverine and Cyclops? Like that. Maybe that's what that is. It's just a screen to throw people off. You're like, wait, what? And then it's like, good, they didn't notice the 2%.
All right.
They didn't notice the 2% stock fall.
So, random encounter. Let's. God,
you didn't see that coming, did you?
Roll die, man. Come on now.
Look at surprise on your face was working.
Dead air, man. Dead air. Come on.
I'm sorry, people. If you want to know what's happening, I am laughing at Zeno's look of horror because he couldn't help but see Scott's Speedo in his mind.
Nat 20. So you get to
want to talk about
between
Wolverine.
2 to 14.
Is there anything on there that lets me talk about Wolverine?
No.
Okay, let's see. 2 to 14?
Yep. 2 to 14. You display that list for us, editor?
What's a flim? No. What's a flim?
A flim? What?
He meant film.
Oh.
Whoa. Okay. DJ rankings. Rank these hero team ups. Oh, that's cool. The Mandalorian. Okay. You know what? I'm going to do 10. Rank these hero team up groups because I was talking about it earlier. And
so Avengers, Defenders, Justice League, X-Men.
All right. I'm going to start with the X-Men.
Okay.
And I have to say this because Zeno and our beautiful, wonderful editor know. We quite literally, I was telling them that the X-Men was my team. I mean, they were my comic book life. They're the ones that actually owned the comics, knew all the stories. Mm-hmm. They made me feel represented. For those of you who are somehow unable to tell, I'm black. And they really just were the team. They had everything. There was nothing. There was no fat. It was all crime-made beef, man. All good stuff. Mm-hmm. And I loved them. Best hero team ever. Followed by the Avengers.
Okay.
The Avengers was the best example of a high-tier superhero team, man. They were the big boys without being lame and over the top. You still felt like there was people that could rumble with the Avengers, but at the same time, they were all badasses. Good stuff. I'm kind of wondering when he says Defenders who he means, because that team's had enough palettes, like enough hats.
Well, Avengers has too.
But you have what you visualize as the core team, dude. I mean, for a long time, it's been Iron Man, Thor, Hulk.
Yeah, I mean, Defenders has
Captain
swaps
America.
between TV and comics.
That too, and unfortunately, I know that I'm not thinking of the Defenders they mean. Because we're talking about like the TV show. Well, yeah, man, Luke Cage and them, I love that.
Yeah, which was more
but
Heroes for Hire.
That's Heroes for Hire, though. So as much as I don't want to put Defenders down below Justice League, I do know the core Justice League off the top of my head. I can see them. I know who I said Justice League. They were the only problem with the Justice League was literally Superman. He didn't need the team, man, and it used to be a lot of a hard problem to understand why they needed to exist because Superman. But other than that, hey, iconic heroes.
I mean, the good thing about the Justice League though is they've constantly found ways of getting rid of Superman for a while.
They had to.
Like
he's busy off saving entire universes while we fight Gorilla Grodd. Yeah. He's fighting Darkseid, who's teamed up with Mongol, while we're over here trying to stop Gorilla Grodd from turning people into monkeys. But no, the Justice League is iconic though. Like when you see the Justice League, there is a sense of epicness. It's just I'm not interested in their stories. I like them as a team, but they're so much. It was hard to you never thought the Justice League might lose. It was not even something I could wrap my head around.
So let me ask you this. We see the team up that he listed on there. Is there a team you think should be on that list of powerhouse team ups?
Hold on. I'm getting the name together. Oh, God. Well, you know what? Actually, as much as I know their movies have been bad, as our editor actually just reminded me, thank you, I'm kind of shocked that Defenders beat out the Fantastic Four. They were a well-known team-up, man, and their comics and shows were good. It's just their movies that have been terrible. But come on, the Fantastic Four, they're a top team. I feel like they should have made it before Defenders. I feel like that was a little bit of an injustice to them. The Fantastic Four does not suck. The Fantastic Four movies suck. Okay, that's different. So, no, Fantastic Four is above the Defenders for me for being a well-known team. We all know them. Mm-hmm. We do. I mean, they're iconic as frick, man.
Yeah, no, they're definitely iconic. All right.
What you got? You got a team I didn't think of? Oh, no, Order. We got Order, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so as far as my order goes, I mean, X-Men is still number one.
That's my boy.
Once again, I mean, I've talked about my bedroom growing up and the posters I had on the wall. They were all X-Men. Now it was a mixture of X-Force and X, but all the X titles. And then Spider-Man thrown in there as well. But
best crossover ever, man. That was so freaking cool.
So I mean, X-Men and Spider-Man was like all the things that I read and looked at the most. So that's why X-Men has to go on top. As far as Avengers go, I mean,
are they your 2 or your 3?
Well, before I put them as a number, like my thing with Avengers is growing up and all I really cared about in the Avengers was the Hulk. I liked the Hulk.
That's my boy.
Justice League was Batman,
Yes, it was Batman.
And I didn't even pay attention to Defenders, when I was growing up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I have to do X-Men. Avengers and Justice League's almost sort of tie for me. Because I really liked Batman. I really liked that, And of course, you also know him in noir type stuff, and he sort of reached into that
Detective
genre
Comics,
some.
man.
Yeah,
go back to the day, Detective Comics.
So Justice League and Avengers sort of tie for second, and then Defenders is bottom.
Well, if Fantastic Four was on his list, would they rate above Defenders?
Fantastic Four. I probably read more Fantastic Four than I did Justice League or Avengers stuff. So it would probably end up being second as far as if we're going with comics. Because I read a lot of Fantastic Four.
Yeah. And Doctor Doom.
The only other hero team that I read comics of and stuff and kept up with was the Ninja Turtles.
But no, good. Yeah, you're right. Because I mean, now I think about it too. Doctor Doom. God.
Oh yeah, man.
Like only Doctor Doom and Magneto are possibly the best villains of the entire comic book genre.
And I am going off the comic books here. TV mixes this completely up differently. Oh, God,
because then you got to throw in G.I. Joe, Power Rangers. Just saying,
this list here, I mean, X-Men has not been that great on TV.
It's still my top. It is undisputable.
Now, the cartoons were good. They had a lot of good X-Men cartoons. But as far as movies go, they dropped down. I definitely put Avengers probably on top. If we're Defenders is probably second if we're looking at TV.
It was good.
And then Justice League and X-Men are probably tied in that bottom spot.
X-Men beats it out just because I've seen everything but Dark Phoenix. I've seen like Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, and I was done. Oh wait, I did see Suicide Squad because my kids wanted to see it, but like I didn't wanna. And here's a good example. You know what? I can tell you which one should be on top. Easy question.
Okay.
Tomorrow, a X-Men movie comes out and a Justice League movie comes out. Which do you go see?
Well, I'm just gonna go see the X-Men movie.
Boom, then X-Men.
Because there's a transition right now, so it's a reset.
Okay, reboot of Justice League and a reboot of X-Men movie comes out tomorrow. Which do you go see first?
Who's the movie about?
Okay, then. Boom.
But it's because I'm manipulated by my love of X-Men comics.
Yes, that's how ratings go.
Back to the Bob Iger thing. I did notice Bloodaxe said he adds that was planned. He was going to retire prior to Fox merger, but was convinced to stay on during the transition as part of the deal.
That is the first person I've heard that's put that forward that this was planned. Or at least, like, well, if it was planned, Bob Iger didn't know.
I did remember hearing rumors about him planning on retiring prior to the Fox merger. So,
okay.
But I don't know any more than that. I can't.
Here's something for the comments, people. Go take a look at the interview and tell us what you think. Does he look like he was aware of this, or does he look like he was caught off guard? I'd love to hear some back and forth from you because the Dicejunkies are on two sides of the table. That's a good debate. We got one person saying it was planned from the beginning. We got me going. I think that he was like deer in the headlights. What the heck just happened? Ought to be fun to see.
Yeah.
Bloodaxe
says the podcast Rebel Force Radio has been talking about it for over a year. So, and I know he listens to a lot of Star Wars podcast stuff, so he's probably kept more up to date on this than we have.
Fully possible. I can be wrong.
Thanks for the input. Thanks for the input, Bloodaxe, on that. That gives a different look, different light to it.
See, I listen to Bloodaxe as I can't be wrong.
Yeah. Speaking of Star Wars, and this is where Bloodaxe can probably chime in. Lucasfilm to launch Star Wars: The High Republic publishing campaign in 2020. Now, this is supposed to be new comics, and this sort of takes place in between Night of the Old Republic and the original Star Wars films.
Why would you have a guard or a lightsaber? It would just get cut.
Oh.
It's not even made out of beams. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, what's funny is I thought I'd be the one ranting, but I almost wish we had Bloodaxe on the show because he's a huge Star Wars fan. And he has to be madder than I am about some of the nonsense.
If I would have thought about it, we would have planned a Skype call and pulled them in on this one. But
okay, let's give them first the context. If you look at a YouTube video or hear anything about this, what you're going to hear is that they had the planning board on the video where they talk about it, where you can see where they write down what they plan for, the line. What they plan for the line of High Republic. And what people have been tripping about is that it's a crap show. I mean, some of the stuff they have on this board that they want to do with that Star Wars High Republic is like dinosaurs. Yeah. Like somebody thought that was a valid idea of like, what should we do to make this successful? Dinosaurs! That sounds like something my 9-year-old would yell out if you asked him for a good idea for a show. Like, dinosaurs!
Okay. I mean, not
what I didn't get controversial.
No, that's fine. Ignoring the whole board thing, though. I mean, the release itself, the information about it. Like I was actually talking to our local comic shop about this, Travis over at Vans, and he was telling me, the stuff that he had gotten on this, and it actually sounded really good. Of the way he was talking about it, it's like this is basically the time of the of the Jedi, the golden age,
prosperity.
Yeah, when there isn't really a dark side, there is no.
Then what's the conflict?
That's a good question that he brought in. He said there was something about Raven coming into this thing, which if you're familiar with Knights of the Old Republic.
Revan, you mean Revan?
Yeah, Revan. Sorry,
I will kill you.
Revan. So
I don't Revan. Know. Don't you get that wrong, Ben?
So I mean, the stuff he was telling me sounded really interesting. Now, looking at some of the art sort of worries me some.
It's not for you.
But as far as the premise that I've been hearing with this sort of taking place in the golden age of the Jedi, and that it have a lot more political, and I'm not speaking political as in like our politics, but political as in the galaxy.
Man, that Wookiee has to be hot in those robes.
Could be interesting. I mean, it all depends now. I mean, yeah, we saw a storyboard and it had a lot of really dumb ideas, in my opinion, on it. But at the same time, I don't take that into heavy account because
keep going.
People throw out a lot of ideas.
Okay, good. Finally, a break in the pattern.
What?
If I say it, you'll get mad at me.
No. Say it. Go ahead.
Well, out of like every cover, I just noticed until finally a change that it was always female character first and prominent on the page. And I just wanted to see if any of the covers changed that. And finally, there was one that did.
I mean, that one.
It's not important. Well, like I said, I saw
even
it.
If you go up to the
that's why I didn't mention
even if you go up very top, you have male character in the dead center.
Well, that's why I said it changed. She started from the bottom. So
hold on, but go down to this one. You see male character.
Yep. Oh no, as I said, as she went up, it changed as it stopped.
It is majority women.
Well, of course.
Now this one seems to be majority.
Oh my God, that's actually 50-50.
Yeah.
Well,
50-50.
I don't know. I can't tell that one guy.
Yeah, you can't tell with some of these races.
No. That's even more representation. You can't tell.
So there may be a gender swing there. I don't know. Of course, then again, if you're coming out of a war, that may actually make sense.
Don't go there. Don't go there. That's I was joking. Don't go there. Please don't. What is it with you? You love it. You'll play good and then you'll escalate. That's what you do. He'll be the voice of reason. Then he'll say something really messed up, and it's just
I'm just saying. If you go by our wartime standards, I mean, the majority.
So the Invisible Man, man, I heard front. Like it was. You can't see him at all. It's perfect. Best movie ever. You can't see the toxic male.
So there was a new movie, The Invisible Man, that came out this weekend.
I've heard great things about this movie.
Yeah, I've actually heard really, really, really good things about it. There have been some people talking about different trying to make things political inside of it, and
it was just annoying because it's a really good movie. And while it does have a message, it's done well. So it's like, don't ruin this, people. People watched this movie, enjoyed it. It was. I mean, I've watched a bunch of reviews, man. People I respect, including some people that would be considered to be, a part of the problem. People that usually don't like woke movies and stuff, saying this is a good movie. And I'm almost like, now you guys got to go in there and try to make it about something. It is about something, but it didn't have to tell you. It showed you. Show not tell. It's a good movie. Like what?
It's based off of H.G. Wells's story.
Man. Well, they updated a lot. But,
yeah. Well, obviously, I mean, H.G. Wells was 19th century.
Critics and viewers agree even. Like, it's amazing how they like to poop in their own pool. And it's like, hey, this movie gets a good, hey, this is good. Why don't we shut up and let it do its job and do a good job? But no, we must go out there and make it political. It has a point. It actually is it does have kind of a believe women vibe, but it's a good one.
I've always liked H.G. Wells's books, not just because of the similarities in name, but
it's a good movie.
That is actually the original reason I picked up H.G.
Well,
Wells.
the major difference in this, and this isn't a spoiler, is just that like H.G. Wells's book was a man who became corrupted by the power of being invisible. This is a corrupt man getting the power of invisibility. But then the story's not about him. But it's good, and it's not about him, and this is a good example.
Honestly,
of
I think
it's
the
not
best
about
way
him,
to
it's
tell
about her. And
I think the best way to tell a story about the Invisible Man is it not to be on the Invisible Man the entire time. Well, because the Invisible Man is sort of
no, he's done like a monster. Like he's a terrifying presence, and they don't humanize him, which I love. I've heard several people say that he is not humanized. Even before he gets his, may or may not get his power, he is rarely shown. Like he's in shadows. They do the angles. I said, oh, that's so cool. You almost don't know what he looks like that well, even before, which adds a really creepy mystery. He feels like you know what? Here's perfectly. He feels like a stranger the whole time, which makes the concept of him being in a room with you invisible scarier.
Yeah, and this is actually one of those rare times. If we go over to the Rotten Tomato, we have a very close critic and audience score.
Booyah.
With a 90% tomato meter and a 89% audience score. Can we see those score details? I am curious about the top critics versus the all audience. Let's see. It's a little lower on the top critics and a little lower on all audience, but still not much. 85 to 88.
Yeah, this movie is greatly rated. I've heard nothing but things. I actually am wanting to see it. Like I'm thinking it's gonna be a good movie. I just haven't decided if I'll take my kids or not. I need to double check the rating and see what's in it before I take them, but because they love horror. But and if it's got a rated R, but it doesn't have anything but language,
I'd be surprised. Deal, I mean, Invisible Man without things in it that you shouldn't allow your kids to see, it would be odd.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know the rating. I haven't checked it. It's probably rated R.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I remember one thing they said. Oh yeah, no, I can't take them. Oh yeah, they did a Hollow Man. Yeah. I remember they said that they did a Hollow Man. Okay, well, good. I didn't need to take them anyway. That saves me like $20. I go by myself.
Yeah,
I'll take them to see Onward. But no, I mean I have heard nothing but good things. I've literally yet to hear someone criticize this movie.
See, we actually get to end the show on a high note with
Rotten Tomatoes being news. Right. I don't know if that's a high note or if that means that the apocalypse is upon us.
Well, I mean, I don't know. But we'll chance ending it on a random encounters. How about that? Let's get our wonderful editor over here to give us a
roll
die
for
roll.
Us. Come to Dicejunkies.
All right, 3.
I've never seen a person that did not want to get up and do something that much before.
Time to think. If you lost all 5 senses, how do you know you are alive? What the hell, Blood Axe?
Well, for me, it wouldn't matter because, honestly, only my own thoughts matter to me anyway. I mean, you're all pretty much just a figment of my imagination anyway. So if I lost my senses, it would merely verify that, and I wouldn't even have to pretend that other people exist. Did I go? Nothing. I don't know, man. You're right. That's a weird one. I've never thought about that. No idea, man.
Well, no, man. No, I mean, yeah, you'd just be sort of stuck in your head, which honestly, I mean, so it really depends on.
You're supposed to drink before you answer this one. It's time to drink.
Time to think.
I thought you said, I read drink, and I think I'm right.
So, I mean, it also depends on your religious views, probably on where, because I mean, if you believe in a afterlife, then you might think you're still alive because you haven't seen whatever you believe the afterlife to
Well,
happen.
you know, they've tested this with
Where-
sensory deprivation that if you divide your five senses long enough, you'll start to see something.
Well, that is a possibility. I mean, your mind is a weird thing, so it's one of those things that's really hard to say.
Like, how long is it they say you can handle sensory deprivation? It's not long, man. You start to flip out and see stuff fast.
But yeah, no, I mean, how do you said how do you know you are alive? Not would you know?
He said you, yeah, you. He's asking you your sentiment. I said mine, which is I don't think it would be much different.
I don't know. Like I said, I honestly don't think. I don't know if you could. It's one of those things. You really don't know until you're there. But if you're just lost in blackness with only your thoughts, I mean, you're as good as.
You got thoughts?
Huh?
You get to have thoughts?
Yeah. Oh.
Okay. I
Thoughts.
was doing a wordplay, man. Go ahead.
Yes.
I'm
I mean,
one of your,
if you're
like,
if you're in your head, you can have as many thoughts as you want. But no, I mean,
fans only, baby.
your thoughts. I mean, then yeah, I don't know. To me, at that point, you are dead.
Yeah, so basically Zeno would not be able to handle that situation. I wouldn't be able to tell the difference because I'm already crazy. Michelle, you're the sanest person in the room. What would happen to you? How would you think you would react to losing all your senses? Would you be able to tell you're alive? Would that be an existential crisis? Would you get some much needed sleep? How would that work?
I think if I could tell that I was still dreaming, that's how I would know I was still alive. And I would just live through my dreams then.
I feel you. Well, that's why I said what I said, because I fooled myself in my dreams so often that I don't know if I'd be able to tell, because I've had dreams that I've been convinced.
Yeah, no.
And then I wake up and I have to actually take a moment to literally go, that didn't happen.
No, I've been there.
Like,
I mean,
have you ever had a dream where you lived your whole life and you died of old age? I've had that one, and it was convincing.
I don't know if I've been that far.
You wouldn't remember to eat.
I literally had a dream where I went through an entire life cycle and died of old age and woke up like missing my family, like my grandchildren, man. Like I had like an intense one.
Oh man, that's screwed up.
Yeah. So like that was an oddball one.
Now I know which one of us is more crazy.
Hey, I said it was me, dang it. I claim the crown.
Oh, Bloodaxe says, I think the soldier in the Metallica video one is about to close to explain it.
I think we covered. I mean, like I said, it's like having a dream which you no longer have the ability to wake up from, and it's like how good is your mind at fooling you. And for me, I'll admit it is completely, like I said, it was able to condense an entire lifetime that I woke up and still felt like I had spent like 50, 60 years.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I've had those types of dreams.
Yeah.
What's that?
The mind is a powerful
thing. And mine likes to screw with me.
But I think without any kind of external stimulus, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that would be like putting in a. I mean, people go crazy in sensory deprivation chambers.
They come out, think they've been in there for hours. They're like, it's been 10 minutes, dude. Like,
so I don't know. I mean, you might die of shock after a while.
But hey, the Invisible Man was really good because we lost our like upper ending.
Yeah, we did.
Existential crisis. Good job. That should have been something
welcome.
horrible. Bloodaxe. Jeez, you stuck that into the normal list. Existential crisis time. People, are you really alive?
This is this. Oh, never mind. Just kidding.
Yeah. He's probably just mad because we don't roll enough ones anymore. We haven't. Remember that time where we were like rolling a 1 every episode?
I know, that was awesome.
That was a rough month.
What are you talking about? It was amazing. Well, okay, then Bloodaxe, go ahead and put in the "Are we in a computer simulation" to replace it. The other existential crisis one. The "Are we in a?" Oh boy.
But anyway, I think that's gonna wrap us up because holy crap. Thank you, Bloodaxe. Be sure to check us out on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all that good stuff. You can go to Dicejunkies.com to see links to everywhere we are online. And you can go to patreon.com/Dicejunkies if you want to support us. We would appreciate that. And thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to check us out every Sunday at 3:30 on Twitch to watch us live. You can join Blood Axe in our chat room and talk to us, and we'll talk back. We'll read your comments and some of them anyway. Maybe, I don't know. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed.